Hey everyone. Today I'm going to be altering a magic card. I recently got some paintbrushes and some gouache. Gouache, I believe. Gouache. And I've been really wanting to try my hand at altering some cards with my style. So I'm all set up and I'm ready to go. I chose Ichor Wellspring, Ichor, however you want to say it, Wellspring. And I kind of just want to cover over the shape that is whatever the Ichor Wellspring is, with some contrasting color to the rest of the art. So in this situation, that's going to be some blues and some purples. So to start, I'm going to squeeze out some of these colors onto this piece of parchment paper. I decided to use parchment paper because it won't absorb the paint itself. Gouache is pretty liquidy, and the paper tends to absorb it before I can get it onto the card. And parchment paper is what I had around, so I'm just going to be using that. So I put down some white, some titanium white, and some black onto the parchment paper, and then here's some purple, and then I'm going to move on to some blue. These are fresh, so I have to puncture the top on some of them and squeeze them out from there. I chose this card because, one, it's not very expensive. Two, I have a million of these, probably 15 or so of them. And three, because I really like the card itself. It has blue and yellow, which are contrasting colors to each other, so I wanted to enhance that with my own style. I tested my hand at doing a couple of lands before this, and it didn't turn out so well, so I decided to go on to something that really sparked my interest, which was this card. I forgot, before I actually start painting, I want to wipe it down, get any grease off of there with some rubbing alcohol. One of the lands that I tried to alter before this had a big old thumbprint. You could make out the thumbprint when I put the paint over top of it. It would separate out into the thumbprint itself. And I thought that was pretty cool, but also gross, because it was like a 30-year-old card. A 30-year-old thumbprint from somebody that wasn't me? That's great. I mixed up some blue, and I'm just gonna go at this however I feel like. Mixing different colors, making a shape. It doesn't really have to be anything. It's better if it's not. Just some abstract shape that can cover some of the card itself. And again, I'm just testing out, seeing what I like and how I like to alter these cards, because I've never done this before. Out of the research that I've done and the questions that I've asked from other creators that do alter cards for either a living or just for funsies, I've found that gouache, the paint that I'm using, is thinner. It can adhere to the surface. It doesn't. You can. It's more pliable, so if you wet it down, you can lift it up. It kind of acts like watercolor without being watercolor. So I really like that aspect of it. Another nice thing about gouache is that you can put ink over top of it. So all of my pens will work on this, which is a really cool thing that I didn't know was a thing. That'll allow me to paint on this and then do line work over top to add another layer to it. I wanted to add some highs and lows in terms of color, give kind of a little bit more of a mix of foreground, middle ground, background without actually adding any of that to it. So adding some dark spots next to these lighter spots really make it pop. I kind of like that at this point it's kind of more of a cloud than anything else. It's not really a shape or anything. It's just kind of, it is what it is, and I like that aspect. This wouldn't be a complete Isaac video without my head leaning into it at some point, so I apologize for that, but it's just kind of one thing that I do. I forget where the field of view is and I just lean into it, which in the end is probably a really good thing. That means that I'm losing myself in what I'm doing. So that's a nice thing. I made a lighter color yet, and I'm going to add that over top in a few different spots to really make some sections pop. I'm really liking this composition just as is. It doesn't, I don't feel it's necessary to put more on top, but I really want to add my line work to it just to make it that much extra. That's why I did this in the first place, so I might as well continue forward with my original plan. I left some of these middle spaces blank so that I could add something to it to be a little bit more interesting. It'll flesh things out a little bit, and it'll complete everything. I was also kind of nervous to put any ink down on top of this paint. I didn't know what it was going to do. Sometimes it lifts it up and off and into the actual tip of the pen, which is not what you want. That clogs it up and ruins the pen pretty quick. So I'm designating a few of these pens to just be on top of this paint so that it doesn't mess up with any other drawings. And if I screw these pens up, well, at least it's just these pens and it's not all of my pens. In the end, though, I was really happy with how easy and how nice it is to draw on this surface. It's not all that bumpy. It doesn't really hinder how I'm doing things naturally. It's just like drawing on a slightly more abrasive piece of paper. The paint adds a really heavy grit to it. I wasn't expecting that, but it's not a bad thing. It's just adding a new layer to everything. I am noticing that the more I put down, more paint I put on the card itself, the more it's trying to curl and bend upwards. That's just as the paint is drawing, so I might have to figure out a way to adhere it to the piece of paper a little bit better in the future. Maybe some double-sided tape or something like that so that it can dry and not curl the paper as much, the magic card as much. I felt like there wasn't quite enough highlights to this, even with the white and light blue that I put on top. So I have this paint pen that I'm going to go over top a few of these highlights just to add a little bit more detail and a little more lights and darks, a little more interest. I'm trying to make the composition as interesting and fun as possible with what I do. I also wanted to sign this. I tried to leave the artist name, the original artist name on there, just because I feel like they still deserve credit. This isn't my work altogether, but I did want to sign my name on here as well. So I'm doing my little IP with the little zigzag in between. It's just kind of how I've been signing my name for, since 5th grade. So almost 30 years now. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, so if you like this and you would like to purchase it, it's on my website. If it's not there, just message me directly, email me, something like that. I'll be altering a whole bunch more in the near future, so if there's one that you would like to see, just let me know and I'll see if I can do it, if it's in the collection. Otherwise, just like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.